Hello, welcome to this O&DR Modurol video, Jaguar XKR ProMIZ, where one man has changed his dream into a reality. This is video 178 in our series of XK8 videos. And in this video, we're going to go back to 2010 when one man's dream car was made real. Now, we're recording this video to really inspire enthusiasts to reach for their dreams. As you can see, Krisztián made a full customised exterior and interior on his car. Personalising your car is very common. This is my example. Not particularly outrageous, but I do like to think it is different to the car that comes off the production line. Some people are very creative, as you can see with this 1930 style Zephyr. You can see more details on that in video 151. Anyway, as always, we're going to split this video down into several sections or chapters. First of all, we'll talk about the creativity process. Secondly, the exterior, then the interior, the engine, the suspension and wheels, and then a bit of a final conclusion and the result. Okay then, first of all, the creativity. So we've introduced Krisztián. Krisztián is from Hungary, and he's saying he's one man who dreams in the daylight, not in bed at night, not a dream walker. Someone born with an engineer's mind became an entrepreneur and later a bodyguard because life is too short. He's just going to get on with it. If he wants to do it, he's going to do it. You can see he's actually the owner of a nice motorbike there, and if he wants a thrill, he'll go out and ride his bike, and he uses his XK8 XKR for a Gran Turismo. He can drive hundreds of kilometers in comfort at a slower tempo. He doesn't need the radio in the car. He can just hear the exhaust with the windows open. Now, as part of his career, Krisztián was the owner of ProMIZ Technologies. And it was with this, he developed this car. Why? Well, here's what he said to me. You don't need much money to realise your dreams, but you need your will and ego. Ego is owning a piece of scrap metal that you've paid for. And as a dog marks its territory, you can put some sticker on that scrap, otherwise personalise it. But if you look at my car, I see all the fun, pain and tears and the sweat I put into it. And this emotional fuel helps me overcome every new situation in my life. Basically, it inspires him. Almost everybody will have his name on something, a legacy, but I don't think you should be your tombstone. You need to try and influence the future. If you don't find something you can die for, then your life is worthless. You don't have any desire. As I turned 42 in 2010, that was a car. That was his focus. I wanted to push the limit to more realism and accept other people's dreams, and through bodyguarding, he found he could help them too. Through this video, we're hoping we can help other ones who want to make their own fuel for life, and hopefully with a positive influence for other modifiers and XK8 enthusiasts. So that's why he was doing this. So basically what he did, he used some digital virtual tools to develop his creation from the computer into real life. Now, he did that together with one of the guys who worked with in his team. That was a guy called Norbert Gold. He's actually got his own company now, Goody Design. He's obviously based in Hungary as well. He's actually done a few sort of designs of other Jaguars. We'll just flick through them before we start on the main car. This was one of Krisztián's earlier cars. It's basically a Jaguar XF with an XJ front end, and you see the top right hand corner, that was the Goody Design sketch brought forward to reality. And this was 2 to 3 years before the XE, so it's a very large XE, so look-alike. Yeah, similar styling. The side and rear view is here. You can see the sketch, the top right again, and the reality below. He also did an interestingly modified S-Type. If you want to see more of his designs, it's really nice, tuned car designs on his social media channel, and I'll put a link in the description if you want to take a look at more of Norbert's designs. Now, what Krisztián and Norbert did, they used a photograph that you can see on Facebook from Facebook. It's actually used by the Jaguar XK 96206 Enthusiast Club X100 Facebook group. If you're familiar with that group, you'll know this photograph well. And they basically photoshopped this into several iterations. This is basically quicker than paper. It's more realistic. First of all, this was their first iteration. They used got a massive bonnet scoops. They changed the headlamps to more a later Jaguar style. You've got the front wing vents or fender vents, sills, covers. Got air dam with air scoops for the brakes. So that was the first design. Second design, they toned it down a little bit. They went for smaller, more refined bonnet vents, moved the badge down to the grille using the latest sort of X150 grille style. Third iteration then was a very big vent in the bonnet. It's actually something used for mid-engine cars, this vent in the bonnet, which actually vents right through to the radiator. Obviously, when you've got a V8 engine in there, that's not actually feasible, but it looks good in the virtual world. And you can see he's refined. He's got a little lower splitter there, and he's changed the air scoops for the brake design. Iteration 4 then, gone back to larger bonnet vents, duplicated the badge. Fifth iteration, you can see how they're sort of creating it. You've deleted the badge again, kept the more refined bonnet vent. And the final iteration in the virtual world was basically this one, which I say it's got the radiator bonnet vent, which is clearly not feasible, but some things are, and you sort of incorporated DRL above the brake air scoop, which looks like a really nice feature and really well styled in there. So basically, once he'd done that, he took that into a different bit of software to choose some different colours. You can see he's got 4 iterations of the colour now. It's very easy to see colours in the virtual world, and it gives a very sort of realistic look. Personally, I like this red colour. This is my favourite colour, this really bright red, sort of a salsa red. Krisztián decided not to go for red or any of those colours because he was having what he calls the white period, where all his cars were white. So we'll look at the exterior now. So as you can see, he chose a white car. You can see this is the front of the car in the body shop being painted white. It's got enhanced bonnet lines to potentially give extra engine clearance if you were to put a bigger supercharger on or play with the top of the engine. The exterior was from the digital sketches, etc. It was actually transferred into reality by hand. So it's not 3D machined or anything. It's basically hand made from the sketches. You can see here the side vent styling, basically all these sort of sculptured vents on the front fender and the back of the rear fender. Helps to hide the extra width of circa 20 centimeters on the track of the car. So this is really a true wide-bodied XKR. After the paint and fitting of the headlamp badges and etc., you can see the paint and the styling to really coming off. It's actually got 18-inch wheels on at this point. Those are changed later. We'll come into that in more detail. You can see it's got the DRL incorporated above the air scoops. I can see the side view here with the 20-inch chrome rims. And the rear view then, you've got Arden rear lights, the lower splitter, quad pipe exhaust, so quite aggressive rear end. Now you can see the bonnet vents there, they're quite nicely scooped and they roll into the center, and you can also glimpse the interior. If you're interested in this sort of wide body kit, there's also I've also done a video about the Z-Max, which is the quite a popular kit, although it's not manufactured anymore. That's a video 150. It should be a link in the top right hand corner. Interior then, as I say, it's a fully modified interior. I haven't seen many more modified than this or retrimmed. It's covered in red leather. He's personalised the steering wheel or the airbag cover with his surname, which is Szitás. The red leather really complements the walnut dashboard. I thought it might be a bit garish when he first spoke about it, but it really does look nice with that wood interior. He's personalised with some custom instrument clusters. Now these are, I've never seen these before, maybe other people have. They're Plasmo-Tacho.de gauges, manufactured in Germany. And as you can see from the speedo close up, they're really quite nicely printed off. They're not printed on paper. They're printed on sort of laminated sheets, and they're actually backlit themselves. They're not backlit by bulbs. They're actually now sold by KTechCarConcepts.de. I say they're polycarbonate dials laminated uniformly, and they're illuminated without the bulbs, so you don't need any LED bulbs. The actual units plug into the loom themselves. You get a very even light, and it's quite a different look, quite a modern look. He also customized the center dials with the same technology, the oil clock and battery, as you're probably aware. Again, the night illumination looks amazing. It's modern, but it's got that simple classic style, you know, the minimalization of the dials. Yeah, really nice. If this is another look at the quilted padded interior, it's really gone to town on the interior, as we said. You can see the door inner panel. It just shows the sheer amount of leather used on each of the panels of the interior. He embossed the headrests again and the seat backs with his surname. Yeah, really nice job. You can see the leather looks of very good quality, very well done. The rear seats were done as well with that quilted center panels. If you're interested in modified interiors, there's a really nice blue modified interior. I've covered in video 164, XKR Grand Prix 450 Grosvenor edition. It's a really special car in its own right. Should be a link in the top right hand corner. Moving on then to the engine. And here you can see the AJ26 XKR top end stripped down to upgrade the timing gear, change tensioners, guides, etc. If you do want to know more about upgrading your timing gear, take a look at EPO A, 10 facts about Jag AJ V8 timing gear. I've done a full playlist of videos about changing my timing gear, so please take a look at that if you're interested. He actually did tune the engine with an Andre Voss black box, basically piggybacking the ECU. You're not actually programming the ECU itself, but piggybacking on top and modifying the inputs, etc., to give it a bit more oomph. You can see him there with a laptop playing around with the settings. He did also try the higher rated supercharger, but found it a bit too powerful. I'll give you another quote from him, from Krisztián. To tell one thing, I had an Andre Voss twin screw compressor on my car for a month. As the rain falls on the road, the car to drive is hell. The smallest gas makes the wheels turn over, and the traction control stops the motion. So basically, quite unpractical. Not practical for the car. Far too powerful. So he decided to keep the XKR with its standard supercharger. He reinstalled that, obviously, with his mild tuning. Underneath, the underbody is completely painted and rust-proofed, but more importantly, he put the stainless steel sports exhaust, including X pipe, to increase the noise. You can see he's got the front section, the mid section's deleted. So that's going to be a loud car. You can see in the engine compartment he's got K&N filter stickers on his airbox, which also indicates a bit better breathing. And also the final touches, he's got ProMIZ custom coil covers. As I say, he was running ProMIZ customs at the time. So yeah, really nice, well presented, painted in engine there. If you're interested in performance upgrades, I've done a video about the 18 most popular upgrades. That's video 11. Should be a link in the top right hand corner. Please take a look at that. Suspension and the wheels then. Krisztián polybushed the complete suspension. You can see the front upper arms with the purple bushes in. He's got both the anti-roll bar and the lower arm bushes there. He also did the front upper arms, the ball joints, everything completely done. If you actually got your front cross member off, you might as well do the hydraulic and the V mounts, because they'll wear out. You know, there's lots of jobs when you take the stuff apart like this, you just end up doing. Hence why it's better to do these jobs yourself than give it to a garage. The wheels, he actually upgraded to 20-inch 5-spoke alloy wheels. You can see here slightly bigger than the original 18s he had on it. The result then, what was the result for Krisztián? So basically, it was one person's creative dream, his dream, and it became a reality, a personalised custom wide-body supercar. He improved the performance. He's got a personalised luxury custom interior to his liking, and it's literally a showstopper. His motto, he's got some great quotes. It's basically a statement of personalisation, as I would like to say. And what he says, it's a one-off car. It's rare that you have a car. It's not yours. It's your bank's car, because you bought it with the help of a financial institution. On the other hand, most people have a car. They use it as if it would be for sale for the next owner. When it gets older, they sell it. No, for me, it's a car, which is mine. It belongs to me. When I see in every stitch of my name on the steering wheel and the seats, but remember, it belongs to a bodyguard whose job is to stand before a bullet. So basically, this guy is basically saying he'd like to make a bit of a mark, a bit of a legacy, and he'd encourage others to reach for their dreams, because life's short. So what if you wanted to have one of these? I mean, obviously, Krisztián runs a company, ProMIZ Technologies, and he doesn't actively sell this kit. But if he was to get an order for 10, he said it would be possible. I'm not sure there's 10 XK8 XKR owners interested in this sort of kit. I know there is a demand for Z-Max bits and pieces, so maybe there is. But if you want one, maybe we could get hold of Krisztián and organise something. Finally then, be inspired. We all have just one life. You need to follow your dreams. You need to do it now. Many thanks to Krisztián Szitás for sharing his information about his car and his bit of a story. He's a really interesting guy, and you can see his personality all over his car. Can you say the same for your car? Thank you very much for watching. Hope you found it interesting. Please like, comment, share and subscribe for more XK8 videos. And if you're interested in other modified videos, I'll put a selection here at the end page for you to take a look at. Please click on one of these if you're interested in that particular car.